So guys, the GST return forms are now undergoing an ocean change. In fact, in the university curriculum for BCom, we have the old GST returns, GSTR 1 to 11, something like 20 different return forms. Each of these return forms comprise of 15 to 20 tables, making life miserable and impossible for the return filers. And then you got to tally your sales return with the purchase return of the buyer. You have to tally your purchase return with the sales return of the seller. All these are obviously not practical because both these parties may not file returns on time. There could be a number of disparities which are difficult to reconcile. Sometimes they may have to investigate who has made a mistake or who has manipulated. So we had practically infeasible GSTR returns, 20 of them. And now is undergoing a dramatic ocean change. So then the new return forms, there are only 4: Sahaj, Sugam, Normal, and Self-Assessment. These return forms are all cloud-based. As you know, cloud computing is a central processing system to which you can transfer data to be processed. So the GST network is a cloud computers which will process the GST returns in the new format. In the new format, what the GST IN number holder has to do is damn simple. He has to file details of his invoices, sales invoices, in Annexure 1, details of his purchase invoices in Annexure 2. That's it. The rest of it is taken care by the GST network, which is a cloud computing system. Or in other words, the return form is filled by the GST network. All you have to do is make corrections, if any. Enter some of the columns like outstanding GST during the transition period to the new format. When you change over from composition levy to normal levy, the outstanding ITC may change. If you receive any advances towards future supplies, or if you adjust any advances received in the past, all this, only very few entries are to be made by the return filer. Rest of it is auto-filled. It's a wonderful system. Please note the Sahaj return is simplest of all. This is for B2C. In the B2C return, obviously, invoice-wise details may not be required because there is no cross-checking or verification because you're selling to the consumer who doesn't file any return. When it comes to Sugam, there will be B2C and B2B sales, and hence invoice-wise details are required because you have to tally with your buyer who is also a GSTN holder. In the normal return, you have all kinds of sale. This is for large concerns with turnovers above 5 crore, equal to or above 5 crore. Sahaj and Sugam for small concerns with a turnover less than 5 crore. So if you have a turnover of more than 5 crore, you have to go for normal return, which can be filed quarterly or monthly. Choice is yours. Whereas Sahaj and Sugam need to be filed only quarterly. Self-assessment is another huge convenience where in the first 2 months of a quarter, you can just file the total sale and the GST amount in a self-assessment format because you are anyway going to file a quarterly return. So in the quarterly return, you need to get into details. In the first month's return, second month's return, you can do it skeletally. Just fill up the turnover and the total GST. Simple as that. Now the huge advantage of the new system is that it has actually simplified GST return to a dirt simple level. From a humongous, gargantuan task to literally nothing, to a cakewalk. That's the transition. 20 massive return forms, each one with 15 to 20 tables, making life a pain for the return filer, to the new format where you have to simply give sales invoice details, purchase invoice details. The GST network or a cloud computing platform takes care of the rest. What a wonderful transition. But then the problem is the university curricula still follows the old returns. In all the textbooks you will find the 20 old returns. There is no mention even of the new returns. I wonder how long it will take for the universities to realize that the government of India is going for the new cloud-based return system and change the curriculum for the benefit of the students. The earlier they do it, the better. Thank you very much.